So here is the first part of our equation, and I'm going to take a moment to explain it. So just so we know, this right here is our starting point. That's pretty simple. You know, it's not hard. Okay, this whole equation, though, even though it looks like a lot of jumbled up stuff, and it looks like it will be really hard to understand, it's not. It really isn't. I can explain it all to you really easily. So we start here at 0. That is Genesis, right? So we can kind of make our little flower of life out of it if we really want to. But I'm just going to do a really crude representation of it. So we could say that that's Genesis, right? Right here, we can say that this is what we are measuring. That's what we're going to measure. Okay? And then right here, these are the effects. Of the measurement. Those are the effects of the measurement. Okay? And then these are the ingredients that make up what we're measuring, right? Okay. So right here, these are decisions. Or perception. You can look at it however you want to, but that's just the easiest way for a lot of people to understand that either it's a decision or it's the perception of what you're measuring. Okay? And then these are the effects blown up. So we notice that right here we have negative and positive, but then over here we have positive, negative, negative, positive. Well, there's a reason for it, and I'm going to get into that, but right now I'm just explaining the little things to go with it. So if you want to look at these two things right here, they directly affect each other because they're in a parentheses. They directly affect each other, always. There's never a time where they won't. So how do we look at that? Well, this could be war, and this could be poverty. But this could be happiness, and this could be getting things that we want. As long as we're always happy, we'll always get what we want. But as long as we're in war, we'll always be creating poverty. So we can look at one of these as, at this rate, we could look at this as creation. And we can look at this one as destruction. Okay? These aren't good or bad. They aren't. We are going to get out of this whole idea of duality. These are not good or bad. Okay? So one is simply the yin and the other is the yang. You know, creation and destruction. Okay? So this is the first part of our equation. This right here is, it's not very hard to understand. It really isn't. You know, it's when you do so you start with you, and then you did something. Okay, because this right here is movement. Movement has to happen in order for something this is movement. Movement has to happen in order to create this. So now that we have the first part of the equation, let me explain how these negative and positive signs work. Okay? So if you start here with a negative, right? So let's say that this is your tire. Okay? And then it goes flat. Right? So now you have a decision to make. Oh, and then here's all the ingredients for the tire. So that would be like the rubber, the air, all of that, right? Well, if it goes flat, then it has no more air. So we know that it's not getting the air that it needs in order for it to be blown up. So we have a decision to make. We can either decide to leave it, or we could put more air in it. Okay? So let's say we decide to put more air in it. Then that creates a positive. Right? So we put more air in it and we're able to get where we need to go. And then from there, it's what, so then how does this work right here? What is that directly affecting? So if we're able to get where we're going, then we're using up fuel to get there. So if this is the adding of air, then we have to use fuel in order to get it to move. This is our movement again, right here. This is our movement. Or another decision. Or another perception. Okay? So you have to use fuel to go somewhere. So that's the basics of how it works. Okay? Okay, we can go back to this again. If you didn't understand the tire thing, let's understand cake. Because everybody understands cake. Okay? This is your cake. This is you eating it. This is you saving it. This is also you eating it. And this is also you saving it. This is you saving it. This is you eating it. This is you saving it. This is you eating it. Each and every time you choose to eat it, if you choose to eat a piece of cake, out of your ingredients,